Steflos is a Master Rank 8 shotgun, and as such we should probably compare it to middle tier weapons. It appears to have the same energy beam projectile as Arca Plasmor, Fulmin, Catchmoon, so those are its closest cousins. So if you came here wondering if this weapon is any sort of upgrade over Arca, it's not. It's probably a step before you obtain a regular Arca Plasmor, which is a Master Rank 10 weapon. And it's because Steflos has much lower damage per shot and extremely low projectile range. That range gets extended as you hit more enemies, which means you have to be pretty close to enemies in order to extend the life of your projectile, in order to chain more of them, but tile sets are such that a lot of rooms won't give you too much benefit from it. Especially compared to the fact that it's often surprising just how close you have to be before your projectile dies out. So its unique feature is more niche than it originally seemed to be. It also appears to not work with void status all that well, which is likely what many of us had in mind when they showcased this weapon on DevStream. Even Max Bubble does not seem to make it hit more than once. It looks like they deliberately limited this. Which is fair. For a Master Rank 8 shotgun, it makes sense that it's not the best one in its class. While Projectile is still useful and always will be. Comparing it to regular Arca Plasmor, we can see that one department where this weapon wins is fire rate and reload. It's far more comfortable to play from that point of view, but then there's Fulmin, which is not a shotgun, but it has a shotgun mode, and it has much faster projectile flight speed that also scales better thanks to forced impact. Oh yeah, talking about projectile flight speed, you don't need a pacey frame to outrun projectiles from Steflos. That's why despite Steflos not having the best ammo economy, I feel like we have to run projectile flight speed mod in an Exila slot. I built this in an attempt to give this weapon the best shot to make it work. Critical stuff, galvanized savvy, multi-shot, viral, heat, and hunter munitions. Because it only has impact as base damage. Adding viral and heat is necessary to feed galvanized savvy, and despite the weapon being a beam shotgun with a low multi-shot, I still went with hunter munitions. Because what else do I put in there? I have a decent fire rate, good reload, good magazine size. Merciless is taking care of damage. Oh yeah, I struggled to make primary deadhead work with this weapon. Unless I'm above enemies, I can't seem to make headshot register and trigger the buff. Ammo economy is not terrible. But if you meet a couple of heavy enemies and Merciless drops some of its stacks, you may end up in a pickle. Carrier is likely needed, or some frame that takes care of that. But issue here is that at Master Rank 8, it's hard to expect players to invest this much into this weapon. This is 5 forma requirement, and mods I have in are pretty high end. So even if this weapon feels kinda okay to me, it will feel much worse for players who just unlocked it. And it's mostly because of that projectile range being extremely limited without modding for it. And I'm 100% certain that most players won't use their Exilis adapter on this weapon. Fulmin is so much better, with a similar Master Rank requirements, has no ammo economy issues, modded range is insane, scaling is far better, and also its projectile is not something you can outrun. Catchmoon Kid Gun is also looking far better. Also considering that you can obtain 10A Arca Plasmor at any time, you're strong enough to defeat a Sister of Parvos. Proposition for this weapon is pretty rough. I try not to rate it compared to the arsenal that I have, trying to look at it from a progression standpoint, and I can't see where this weapon fits. It's not a bad weapon, just not good enough compared to its competition to justify investing time and forma into it. If you're looking for a shotgun at about that mastery rank, regular Corinth is a blast. If you want a projectile with infinite punch through, Fulmin is far more comfy. I really feel like new players who just unlocked Steflos will see its base range and just toss the weapon to the side. In theory, you can get a lot of range, but in practice, tile sets are small, which causes projectile to hit all sorts of things because of its size. When this weapon gets its prime, maybe it fits better, but as of now, I don't think it's worth it. I spent forma so you don't have to, so like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.